Imagine this. You are alone in a foreign city at midnight. The streets are empty, but every shadow seems alive. Someone is watching you, or maybe everyone is. You can't trust a glance, a handshake, or even the friendly face across the street. One wrong move and your life could end. Not just in moments, but in a way the world may never even know existed. Welcome to the world of spies. For decades, agencies like the CIA, Mossad, and ISA have trained ordinary people to live in this reality. Their minds are sharpened, conditioned, and transformed into something almost inhuman, capable of observing everything, feeling nothing, and calculating decisions that most of us couldn't even comprehend. Today, you will enter the labyrinth of the spy mind, and once you do, you may never see the world the same way again. Before we dive deeper, if you are ready to explore secrets, suspense, and psychological mastery like no one else, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Trust me, you'll want to return for part 2, where we reveal how these extraordinary minds are forged through the most intense training imaginable. What drives someone to live a life where danger is constant and trust is a liability? The answer lies deep inside the psychology of spies. Their lives are a continuous test of mind over matter, observation over instinct, calculation over impulse. They must process thousands of details at lightning speed, weigh risks, anticipate threats, and make life or death decisions, often in complete isolation. Every spy begins as an ordinary human, but agencies like the CIA, Mossad, and ISI and IC transform them into something far beyond ordinary. They teach the mind to read what others cannot see, feel what others cannot feel, and decide what others would never dare to decide. This is not fiction. These are real people, real operations, and real psychology, and today, you are going to see it like never before. Observation is the foundation of espionage. Most people glance, spies see. Most people walk, spies map. Every expression, every movement, every inconsistency is analyzed, remembered, and stored. To a spy, the world is a network of clues waiting to be interpreted. Mossad agents, for example, are trained to move through crowded cities unnoticed, while mentally mapping every building, every alley, every potential escape route. CIA officers can memorize hundreds of faces in a crowd and recall distinguishing features with a precision that would seem impossible to ordinary humans. ISI field operatives track individuals across multiple regions, predicting their movements before they even step out the door. Observation is not just about seeing it, it's about perceiving the invisible. It is the art of predicting human behavior before it happens, a skill honed over years of psychological training and real-world experience. Fear is natural. Panic is fatal. A spy's life depends on the ability to control emotions under extreme pressure. Every heartbeat, every thought must be regulated. They are trained to remain calm when others would scream, to act decisively when others would freeze, and to suppress natural instincts that could betray them. CIA officers undergo simulated high-stress situations where failure could mean capture in a controlled environment, conditioning them to make perfect decisions under extreme fear. Mossad operatives are trained to face life-threatening scenarios, sometimes while carrying out operations in hostile territories. IC agents operate under constant political and social tension, where a single mistake can compromise entire missions. This emotional control is not innate, it's built, reinforced, and tested continuously. The mind of a spy is a battlefield where fear is conquered, hesitation is eliminated, and survival becomes a calculated science. Spies live in a world of unpredictability. One minute, a mission seems routine. The next, a single unexpected variable can endanger everything. Adaptability is not a skillet, it's a survival mechanism. The ability to make split-second decisions can mean the difference between life and death. IC agents frequently operate in volatile regions where the ground shifts beneath them daily. CIA operatives in the Special Activities Division are trained to make decisions in less than 3 seconds, based on incomplete or conflicting information. Mossad agents often improvise on the spot, altering missions mid-operation without hesitation. Their minds are constantly calculating, evaluating, predicting, and acting faster than any normal human thought. To live like a spy is to live in a perpetual state of hyper-awareness, where every detail matters and every choice is decisive. A spy's memory is as lethal as any weapon. Faces, locations, conversations, codes, they are all stored meticulously and retrieved instantly when needed. Every detail is analyzed for hidden meaning, every movement evaluated for possible outcomes. CIA officers memorize embassy layouts before entering, understanding every corridor and exit. Mossad operatives employ techniques such as memory palaces to encode critical information mentally. ISI field agents track high-value targets routines across cities and regions, mentally calculating risk and predicting behavior. But memory alone is not enough. Analysis is what transforms information into actionable intelligence. Spies constantly ask themselves, who benefits from this action? What could happen next? What are the hidden motives? Their minds are always working, even when the world sees nothing. Spies are masters of deception, not only of others, but of themselves. They must project calm while panic simmers, trust allies while knowing betrayal is always possible, and manipulate situations without losing control. Psychological warfare is not just a tactic. It is a way of thinking. Mossad agents are trained to anticipate emotional reactions, creating confusion or fear without ever revealing themselves. CIA operatives study body language, microexpressions, and speech patterns to gain the upper hand. ISI agents analyze regional behavior, cultural norms, and political tensions to exploit weaknesses strategically. Every mission is a mental chess game, and the mind of the spy is the ultimate board. No story about spies is complete without the shadow of moral conflict. Every decision carries consequences. Every action may weigh heavily on the conscience. Who do you save? Who do you betray? The answers are never simple. CIA operatives often face situations where national security conflicts with human life. Mossad agents executing high-risk operations must weigh innocent lives against strategic objectives. Spies operatives maneuver through political and social complexities where ethics and duty collide constantly. The psychological toll of these decisions is immense. Many spies carry the weight of missions long after the operation ends, their minds haunted by choices that cannot be undone. While the core psychology of espionage remains universal, each agency develops its agents differently. Mossad emphasizes rapid improvisation, deception, and daring decisions. The CIA focuses on analytical thinking, emotional control, and strategic patience. The ISI prioritizes calculated risk, political insight, and long-term strategic vision. Tomorrow, in Part 2, we will dive deep into the training and preparation that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary agents, revealing the shocking methods used to forge their minds into tools of precision and survival. The mind of a spy is a labyrinth of observation, calculation, and concealed emotion. Danger lurks in every shadow. Decisions can be lethal, and morality is a constant battlefield. To survive, they must become more than human, mastering the hidden mechanics of thought, fear, and strategy. We explored the labyrinth of the spy's mind, the observation, the emotional control, the moral dilemmas, and the invisible chess games that unfold in every operation. But how does an ordinary human become capable of such extraordinary feats? How are these minds forged, sharpened, and conditioned to operate in the shadows? Now, you will enter the secret world of spy training and preparation, the crucible where the impossible becomes possible. You won't believe what happens next. The reality is far stranger than fiction. Every spy's journey begins with selection. Candidates undergo rigorous screening designed to identify the rare combination of traits needed: intelligence, emotional resilience, curiosity, and the capacity to operate under pressure. Agencies like the CIA, Mossad, and ISI do not recruit the ordinary, they seek extraordinary minds. The CIA's recruitment process is infamous. Candidates are put through hours of psychological evaluations, memory tests, and problem-solving exercises that simulate impossible scenarios. Mossad, known for its elite covert operations, conducts tests that blend physical endurance with mental acuity, observing how candidates respond when fear and uncertainty collide. ISI field operatives are evaluated not just on skills, but on their ability to navigate complex social and political environments where a single misstep can compromise national security. Only the strongest, most adaptable minds survive the initial stage. Those who do are just beginning the transformation. Training a spy is not about muscle or weapons alone, it is about the mind. Every thought, instinct, and reaction must be honed to perfection. The most intense training focuses on mental resilience, emotional regulation, and decision-making under extreme stress. CIA operatives undergo what is called stress inoculation, a process that exposes candidates to life-threatening simulations in controlled environments. They learn to manage fear, make split-second decisions, and maintain calm while under extreme duress. Imagine being trapped in a burning building or surrounded by armed adversaries, knowing one mistake could be fatal, yet having to act with precision. Mossad agents are trained using scenario immersion. They live undercover in hostile conditions, sometimes for months, facing simulated kidnappings, ambushes, and moral dilemmas designed to test their ability to remain composed, adaptable, and strategically aware. Their training is so intense that it often leaves lasting psychological marks, shaping them into instinctively alert, highly analytical operatives. ISI training, while less publicized, emphasizes real-world adaptability and psychological resilience. Candidates navigate politically volatile zones, practice social engineering, and learn to manipulate environments to their advantage. They are conditioned to survive where ordinary people would fail, developing a mental edge that becomes second nature. As we discussed yesterday, observation is a spy's greatest weapon. In training, this skill is taken to extremes. Candidates are exposed to thousands of stimuli and taught to extract critical information without distraction. Nothing is trivial. Every detail can save a life or compromise a mission. Mossad agents train in rapid perception drills, identifying threats in crowded public spaces while remaining undetected. CIA officers practice memorizing entire rooms and the people in them, noting even minor inconsistencies in behavior or appearance. ISI field agents track complex patterns of activity across regions, analyzing the smallest clues to anticipate moves and intentions. Memory is weaponized. Agents use techniques like memory palaces, pattern recognition, and mental mapping to encode and retrieve massive amounts of information instantly. When deployed on missions, their minds are like computers processing, analyzing and predicting human behavior in real time. While the mind is the primary weapon, the body cannot be neglected. Spy training combines psychological endurance with physical prowess. Operatives must run, climb, fight, and survive extreme conditions while maintaining complete mental clarity. CIA operatives in the Special Activities Division endure intense endurance courses, learning to navigate hostile environments, escape captivity, and neutralize threats efficiently. Mossad training includes parkour, hand-to-hand combat, tactical driving, and advanced shooting under stressful conditions. IC candidates focus on survival skills in harsh terrains, urban operations, and strategic mobility, all while keeping their minds razor-sharp. The physical and mental training are inseparable. Exhaustion is part of the test. The operative must function flawlessly under pressure, maintaining awareness, decision-making, and emotional control. Beyond skills and resilience lies the most difficult aspect of spy preparation: the moral and ethical dimension. A spy often faces impossible choices. Training simulates scenarios where every action has consequences, and every decision tests loyalty, morality, and survival instincts. Mossad trainees face simulations where innocent lives may be at stake to achieve strategic objectives. CIA operatives practice ethical decision-making in covert operations where personal bias, emotions, and instinct are tested against mission goals. ISI operatives learn to navigate complex political and social environments where betrayal, secrecy, and manipulation may be necessary for national security. This mental conditioning prepares agents for the reality that espionage is not a world of heroes and villains. It is a world of shades of gray, where survival, loyalty, and duty are constantly in conflict. While many operations remain classified, some public cases illustrate the extreme mental and physical demands of espionage. In the 1970s, Mossad agents tracked down terrorists responsible for the Munich Olympics massacre. They spent years gathering intelligence, living undercover, and making split-second decisions, often in life-or-death situations. Their minds had to balance fear, precision, and strategy constantly. CIA operatives in Afghanistan during covert operations navigated hostile territories with minimal support, making split-second tactical decisions that determined not only mission success, but also the survival of themselves and their team. Pakistani intelligence agents have operated in volatile regions to gather political and military intelligence. Using social observation, improvisation, and psychological tactics to outmaneuver adversaries. Each move required flawless mental acuity. In each case, the training, preparation, and psychological conditioning were the difference between success and catastrophe. Although the core psychological traits are shared, each agency molds its operatives differently. Mossad prioritizes improvisation, daring, and rapid adaptation. Agents must act instinctively, read situations instantly, and take calculated risks. The CIA emphasizes analytical thinking, patience, and emotional control. Operations are planned meticulously, and agents must execute flawlessly under pressure. The IIC balances strategic foresight with situational awareness. Operatives consider political, cultural, and social dynamics in every decision, operating with both caution and calculated aggression. These differences shape how agents perceive danger, assess threats, and execute operations. The psychology behind each approach reflects the priorities and history of each organization. While espionage can make someone extraordinary, it often leaves invisible scars. The psychological toll is real, and many agents struggle with the aftermath of their missions. PTSD, isolation, paranoia, and moral injury are common among former operatives. They live with decisions they could not reverse, actions they could not undo, and experiences that the average human could never endure. For some, the training that once made them invincible now haunts them every day. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please know that help is available. Organizations like the National Alliance on Mental Illness and the Crisis Text Line are there to support you. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Yet, for the truly resilient, the experience becomes a permanent part of their identity. The mind trained in the shadows never forgets, always analyzing, always calculating, always aware of the unseen risks in every environment. The mind of a spy is a fusion of observation, strategy, emotional control, and ethical complexity. Ordinary humans are transformed through rigorous selection, psychological conditioning, physical training, and moral challenges into extraordinary agents capable of operating in shadows most of us cannot imagine. They are the unseen guardians of nations, operating in a world where failure is fatal and secrecy is paramount. They think faster, perceive sharper, and survive longer than most. And yet, the greatest secret of all is not their missions, it is their minds. The world of espionage is dangerous, morally complex, and psychologically demanding. But for those who master it, it becomes a reality in which extraordinary mental acuity is the only currency of survival. Thank you for joining us on this journey inside the minds of spies. If you found this fascinating, like, subscribe, and share this video. And remember, the next time you walk down a crowded street, someone may be watching and their mind is unlike anything you have ever imagined.